player in that side, really. And he'll tell you himself. Terry used to only kick the ball whichever way he was facing. Frank McClintock joined us when he was 35. I wish I'd have played with him a lot longer. He was an excellent player. Dave Thomas, very fast winger, could cross the ball at high speeds perfectly. Jerry Francis, well, me and Jerry hit it off straight away. Nicky Leach, very underestimated player. And Don Gibbons, of course, was an established Irish international anyway.
And it was a good-looking Newcastle squad too, yeah. Bobby, here's the Newcastle squad. Terry McDermott.
Well, that's Terry McDermott, yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's very difficult to place him just for a moment. Yeah, but Ian McFall was the Northern Irish international goalkeeper. They had recognised fullbacks, David Craig and Frank Clark. Howard at centre-half and Bobby Moncur midfield, really strong, tough tackler. Up front, little centre-forward, not very tall, John Tudor, but really good in the air. And on the left-hand side of the field, give them good balance, Terry Hibbert.
And describing the action at Loftus Road is Brian Moore.
So Newcastle then kick off. The Magpies in their black and white stripes, attacking the goal to our left. Queen's Park Rangers in blue and white hoops. And two sides here really who've fallen a little bit after a brilliant start to the season. Rangers with no wins in their last 6 games, and Newcastle with only 1 point from their last 3 league games, although, of course, they beat Dundee in the Texaco Cup in midweek. Clements, stopped, though, by Frank Clark, the number 3 for Newcastle. So it'll be a throw then to Queen's Park Rangers. No, it's a free kick, which Venables will take. Asking the linesman exactly where. Indeed, it's not a free kick. I was right in the first place. It's a throw. Sorted that one out. Tudor, calmly inside again, and a long way clear, and Ian Gillard, only his second first-team game of the season, in at full-back. But here's Clark again now, the full-back for Newcastle United. A long run there and a pass that finds Keith Robson. McClintock backing off him, and Clark had continued, and Mancini putting it away into touch. Hibbert inside now for Gibb, and here's McDermott with a long-range shot that was always curling away. Terry McDermott come forward to some good effect this season with 3 goals. Thomas with a header, and Bowles is up there. Thomas again, now can he make use of his speed? Hibbert going back, and he shrugged him off well. Thomas, a delicate little cross, and Gibbons with a header, and crossed in again, and just over. Leach and Gibbons at the far post. As Thomas turned that over beautifully, up they went. And somehow McFall kept it out, and it was Gibbons who finally turned it over. Cassidy for Craig. Now for Howard. Gibbons chasing him. It didn't fall at all well for Newcastle there, so Thomas can take it up for Rangers. Bowles.
Stanley, you're born in Manchester. What was it like coming down to play in London, in the city and the capital of the country? I mean,
well,
there was
Manchester was like a mini London anyway, I suppose, but I didn't really know what to expect. But when I came from Carlisle, most of the players down here I'd never heard of anyway, so it didn't really bother me, you know. I was a little bit laid back anyway, so...
And in fact, you wore a number 10 shirt that everybody said no one should ever wear again. It was Roddy Marsh's.
Oh, the number 10 shirt was it was taboo at QPR, and I just happened to say to the guy, I think it was Terry Venables actually, said that Marsh used to wear that. I said, well, I'd never heard of him. I said, no, but all the other players were telling me that this was the famous number 10 shirt. In actual fact, it turned out to be the best move I ever made.
It was a great relief for them too. They got someone to wear it.
It was, yeah, because nobody wanted to wear it, I'll tell you that. Rodney was the great idol to see at the time, which I found out afterwards.
And then Tommy Cassidy put it wide. Leach. Lining up a couple of challenges there, both from Craig and from Gibb. Incredible the number of errors there are in quite simple passing movements. The ground, I suppose, just that little bit difficult, a bit heavy and holding. tacky. But here's Clark making a good adventurous run down the left there for Newcastle. Well, he's got McClintock to contend with. He very nearly got the better of McClintock, but he stuck with him well, did McClintock. But now it's Hibbett for Newcastle. Cross towards... Oh, they let that go so far. It was towards Tudor, and Tudor hung back a little bit, and so too did Phil Parkes. And it needed Terry Mancini here to just nudge it behind for the corner. It's a rather slapdash defence there by Queen's Park Rangers, allowing that cross to go quite as far as it did. The corner then to Newcastle. Tudor getting in there with his head. Mancini getting it away with his boot. Bowles, and it'll be a Rangers throw. Bowles. Leach. Flicked on there beautifully by Venables to Francis. Played on in turn for Clement. Can he get the shot in? Oh, yes! Dave Clement! And that's 1-0 for Queen's Park Rangers.
One wonders what Dave Clement was doing up there, wearing a number 2 shirt, actually, Bob.
That's right, but it was a good little build-up and given time to get there. So by the time it comes, he's just drifting in here now. Didn't really expect it, but there it is. And he thinks, well, I'll have a pop, and then it's in the back of the net. But that pleased the QPR fans.
And what a guy on that.
I used to like playing at QPR.
Yeah.
I didn't play there so often, as it turned out, you know, because they're in the second division a good bit of the time. But if I used to go and take a corner kick, they always had a little conversation with you. You know, they were good fun. Good fun. There was no hostility there at all.
Yeah, you found that too, did you, Stan?
Yeah, it's always been, as Bob said, it's very close, as you can see there. The crowd are very close to the pitch, and you could talk with them, and as Bob said, there's never been a trouble ground.
And they still love you there today, don't they?
Oh, they do, yeah, I mean...
Did you have conversations with the crowd sometimes?
Yeah, all the time, yeah. They liked it as well.
What's the story about the doorman and Man United last year?
Oh, well, just before we got relegated to the First Division 2 seasons ago, I just happened to arrive at the same time as the Manchester United coach at the glass doors at QPR. Yeah. And as they got off the coach, the players, the doorman said, no, he said, you can't come in yet. Mr. Bowles has got to come in first. you've got people like Eric Cantona and all these getting off the coach, and they're going, what the f***?
The ultimate accolade, eh?
Yeah. Marvellous.
Yes.
But that's the way they treat me down there, you know, it's just, it's very strange.
If ever of our players feel a little bit overconfident, I'll just mention it to them.
Good idea.
That was rightly so.
Yeah, that's the one they, on their back foot.
Flagging for something. And a free kick's been given to Newcastle United, although Rangers have played some lovely 1-2s in very tight situations. That looked like being another of them. And Terry Venables, who was right up there, thought that the kick was for him. So a double disappointment for Rangers there. Craig joining up with the attack again, Hibbett. And now Leach. Now Rangers with 3 men up, and it's 3 against 4. The break is on for them, still with Leach. There's Francis available on this side, now Bowles. Played this time for Venables. Francis supporting him, here's Francis. Crossed in again, Givens is coming up late, there's Givens! So Don Givens...
Yeah, Don Givens, Irish international, got around, didn't he? He was also at United, you said, Bobby, and in Switzerland, Stan.
Yeah. He was good in the air. He held the record, I think, for goals scored for the Republic for a long time, until just recently. But he was very popular in Switzerland. One of the few players that actually, British players that had ever gone to Switzerland.
And popular too at Loftus Road, Stan?
He was, I wouldn't say he was popular. as regarding the crowd used to give him a lot of stick. He used to miss incredibly easy goals, Don, and getting in and scoring incredible goals.
This will come for Frank Clark. Leaving it again for Hibbett. Now can he get to the byline and put it across? He can. And Gibbons missed the chance. And Cassidy was just coming in there and was only a fraction wide. So Rangers, who were coasting there towards half-time, very nearly conceded a goal that would have put them under pressure again. Played there towards Bowles, yes. There was a foul there, but I think there was also the whistle there for half-time. So the goal scored by Dave Clement that put Queen's Park Rangers on the way. Another one added by Don Givens, making it 2-0. And now Newcastle, who started so well and indeed have had chances of their own, have a lot to do. So Rangers now get us away at the start of the second half as we welcome you back, leading by 2 goals to 0. Rangers now will be attacking the goal to our left. Clement to Francis. Rangers, in fact, who hadn't scored in their 2 previous games. They're just getting a little bit worried about the way things were going. But they certainly put it right in the first 45 minutes of this game. Venables, Gillard, 1 or 2 of them there with brand new shirts on again after that muddy first half. And here's Dave Thomas. Stopped nicely though by Cassidy, McDermott and Craig. Tudor away in chase, but Tudor's had very little luck so far this afternoon. He and Robson against a combination of McClintock and Mancini. Clement. Bowles jumped there as Moncur came in from the back and the referee saw nothing wrong with it. And now it's McDermott, crossed again there towards Robson, and again Mancini was there. Moncur in first this time. And he was tackled from behind, and that was an unfair challenge by Bowles. Really, there was the revenge motive there on the Newcastle player. Whether Bowles thought the referee was right or wrong in the first instance, there was no point at all in taking the law into his own hand. All he's done is given Newcastle a free kick. Hibbett and Howard are standing behind it. And it's Hibbett who chips it. And it's Tudor who goes in. And it's McDermott who blasts one. And it's gone in off the number 3. I think it's an own goal there, off Gillard. But it's an own goal.
That's a deflection rather than an own goal, wasn't it, Bobby?
Yes, deflected. But Terry McDermott always used to, if he got a chance outside the box, he always used to have a go at it.
Talking about having a go, Bobby, did the referees often have a go at you, Stan? Because you certainly had a go at Bobby Moncur at some point there, didn't you?
Yeah, that's probably my fault, that goal. I was enacting my revenge for the rather late tackle he'd just done the previous to that, which went unpunished.
But that went on frequently. But
yes,
a player like you, I mean, you weren't enticed that kind of treatment, didn't you?
Yeah, the only trouble I got with the referee was verbally, really. I wasn't a violent player.
No. You'd have a difference of opinion,
anyway.
You mean? A difference of opinion with the referee, would you?
Yes, on occasions. Yeah.
This shows the difference between referees now and in those days, because Stan really should have been booked. I mean, today he would have been booked. He might have even got sent off. Who knows for that sort of foul? But the referee never even spoke to him. You know, he sort of realised, you know, that both players had sorted their own problems out, and it was all done, and the game went on, and there was no more. I don't think there's anything more violent went on in the match.
No.
It was all done in one little couple of minutes spell.
McDermott's got through a lot of work now in the middle of the field. That pass was way off the mark. It's another throw to Rangers. Halfway through the second half now. Queen's Park Rangers 2, Newcastle United 1. Venables' header, but he's only given it as far now as Cassidy. Now, is this the chance for them? Oh, and Robson taken out of it right at the very end by Dave Clement, when it looked as though an open goal was yawning there in front of him. And he goes behind then for the corner. That looked odds on the equaliser. And so it's a corner instead to Newcastle. Hibbett, who in the second half is playing like a man inspired, and Venables, who needs to inspire now. That time it's a goal kick. No, it's another corner. So you can see the tenseness on the faces of those Rangers players.
We were talking, Stan, about your occasional differences with referees. Was there ever a player that you really didn't enjoy playing against, one that you really feared?
Well, just watching Newcastle there, I think when I was younger, I was playing for Manchester City, we played at Newcastle once, and they had this guy called John McGrath. It was freezing cold up there, up in Newcastle, as you can imagine. And he'd come up with his sleeves rolled right up to the top, and he had these great big arms, and he had a tattoo somewhere up there. I can remember saying to one of the players, I think his name was John Clay, funny enough, he played for Man City, because I was like an inside forward. I said, well, you play there today, I'll go out on the wing, like, you know. He was a frightening sight, but it was about
the reputation, John McGrath, as being a dirty player.
No, I don't think he was a dirty player, but it was just...
He was a big, imposing player.
Yeah, the look.
Did he actually get you whatever? I mean...
Not really, I didn't go anywhere near him. I just looked at him and went on the right wing.
Smart move.
Yeah, I thought so.
Did you often have to face him?
No, fortunately. But, you know, he was the only one, really. I mean, Tommy Smith was a hard player at Newcastle, at Liverpool, sorry, but he could take it as well as give it. I had no problems with him.
And who are the characters in, apart from yourself, in this Queen's Park Rangers team? Terry? Was he a character?
Terry was good in the dressing room, you know, keeping the banter and telling jokes all the time.
And in fact, you were saying he did most of the coaching at this point.
Terry was doing most of the coaching. Gordon was more or less upstairs, if you like. Gordon Jago, yeah. And Terry had basically taken over by then, and Gordon didn't mind. He was happy to. Gordon was a very good manager, but he couldn't handle people. You know, so he left that to Terry.
And still it's not there. My word, how on earth did that one stay out? As it went across one side, came across the other, and finally it was put just wide there by Cassidy. And again, Newcastle have come within a feathery touch of getting an equaliser. Now it's Gillard. Cassidy played back this time, or rather Gibb played back for McFall. Tudor to Hibbett. So many good things have sprung from him, but not this time. Although it was an obstruction, it was obstruction by Clement, and another free kick to Newcastle. And for this one, Pat Howard's going forward. So it'll be Hibbett now with the free kick for Newcastle. Again, driven low. And here is Howard. And he couldn't keep his feet, and he hit the stanchion at the back. And that moment of hesitation or loss of balance probably cost him a goal. But still, the chances are coming to both ends. It's a long time since I've seen a game where so many open chances have been missed. Gillard. This time it's McDermott to Hibbett. Craig. Flintock's header. And it'll come now for Francis. Now 2 against 2. This might be interesting for Rangers. Still with Francis. Still with Francis. Oh, and a good save there by McFall. Straight at him, but he had to react quickly for all that. Beautiful run by Francis. Leach. Thomas. And a throw. Yes, a foul there by Tudor on McClintock. Ian Gillard will take the free kick. Quite a hefty kick there, right into that Newcastle half, and a foul there on Stan Bowles. So another free kick to Queen's Park Rangers. Get to a situation now where we could really have quite a rousing finish as Newcastle search desperately for an equaliser. And Queen's Park Rangers with equal determination for a goal that would make it safe. Well, under 10 minutes left now, they won't get any progress there, but it's not away yet. Thomas getting in there, and now Francis with a shot just across the face of the goal. Rangers losing it there. There was a foul there by Leach on the number 8 gig. Free kick to Newcastle. 3 minutes left now. Moncur has come forward to take it, and only Frank Clark and goalkeeper McFall are back. They've really piled the Magpies forward now. But again, Mancini rose above them all to head it now for Jerry Francis. Hibbett, Terry McDermott, played into space again there for Robson. Still with Robson. This could be very dangerous for Rangers until he gives it away to Don Givens. Hibbett again. McDermott. And is that a free kick that's been given? It's a free kick that's been given. An indirect free kick that's been given, and the Newcastle players are saying, well, if it's anything, it's got to be a penalty. But referee Kirchhoff has given an indirect free kick some 8 yards from the goal. If you take the 6-yard line as being 6 yards, say 9 yards, that Rangers wall, to be fair, has got to be almost at the near post. Well, they're a good 3 yards or so off that near post at the moment, but this could be very dangerous in the last couple of minutes. Hibbett playing it wide there, Moncur hitting it through, and it's there! And they've equalised. And it's Bobby Moncur who's done it.
Well, it was always likely to result in a goal, wasn't it, from that situation, Bobby? Massive people in the penalty box.
It's a strange decision, but there again, Bobby Moncur hits it, hardly hits it at all, really, and it just bubbles inside the post. But the referee there give the benefit of the doubt to QPR, say it was obstruction rather than a foul. It looked a foul to me, but there again. Referees much criticised these days. So much criticised then too.
Yeah, with not long to go, Stan, you're 2-all out. 2-all out, being 2-0 up. So
yeah, it looks like being a draw at this stage, but you know.
And yet you've been on top most of the game.
We've been on top most of the game. Jerry Francis had a couple of good shots saved.
It's a tiring pitch.
Oh,
that's a tiring.
It must be. What do you say? It was built on a tip, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, the ground was built on a tip, but if you had an hour's rain, you know, the game. It could even be off. It was so bad. I mean, that's pretty good to what it used to be like.
But for a person who exercises skills like you, not easy on that kind of ground, I suppose.
No, it wasn't easy, but he just had to get on with it.
Francis, Bowles. And here come Newcastle again, stopped this time by Leach. Trying to get a 1-2 going with Givens, but it's instead with Craig. Played forward now as Newcastle are coming forward with Gibb. Cassidy. And McClintock to Mick Leach. We're in the last minute of the game now, and here's Jerry Francis. Can he yet make it 2 points for Queen's Park Rangers? There comes his cross, and Howard getting it away very well from a deep defensive position. Hibbett. And Robson caught offside. We're now in injury time at the end of the game, and there's been precious little of it. So it looks as though we've got to pay due credit to a remarkable comeback by Newcastle United, who seemed to be almost out of it at half-time, but kept plugging away and showed greater flair and determination in the second half. Pulled back to 2 goals, but here's Thomas again with another deep cross towards McLeish. Moncur, the number 6 on his back, obliterated by the mud, and here's Leach. Got Francis free, but very few seconds are left. Here's Venables turning it in for Bowles. And he scored! Stan Bowles has made it 3-2. Well, one comeback after another. Newcastle had pulled back the 2 goals and seemed to have won themselves a point. And now in the last seconds of the game, as the ball comes through to Bowles, a minimum of backlift, and that's 3-2. Well, Newcastle, and you must feel sorry for them after the hard work they put into that second half. Rangers are absolutely jubilant, and there goes the final whistle. They couldn't have left it later. And so it is, the poor Ian McFall, beaten in the last seconds of the game, when it looked as though Newcastle had got a point, has to go away. Don Gibbons, who scored the second of the Rangers goals. And Rangers and Newcastle go off in the best of sporting spirits, let it be said, after they've given this Christmas crowd truly a game to remember, with a finish certainly to remember.
And that